Hi everybody. In this video I'd like to talk about Sony's 200-600 f5.6 to 6.3 lens, talk about some of the features of the lens that I like, and how I set mine up for wildlife photography and specifically birds in flight. Well, one of the features that I like best about the Sony 200-600 is the internal zoom. So you can see as I start off with a focal length of 200, I zoom to 400, then all the way to 600, the physical size of the lens stays the same. So you may have had a lens in the past that had an extending barrel that moved in or out as you zoomed. This one maintains the same size no matter what focal length you're at. That's a very useful feature because once you get it on your tripod and get it on your gimbal head nice and balanced, you can see that no matter what focal length I'm at, the physical size of the lens doesn't change. Another feature I like about this Sony lens are these customizable buttons found along the barrel. There are 3 buttons. They all have to be programmed to do the same thing, but they're very useful. You set this up in your custom menu. You can do various functions by holding these buttons down while you're taking pictures. So what I have mine set up to do is autofocus. So I press that button and it autofocuses on my subject, and then I use my shutter button to take the picture. The way that you set up those custom functions on your lens is you access your menus, then you toggle over to what I call Chapter 2, which is this camera with a number 2 on it, and then you go over to page number 9. You can see my page number changing here. Custom key, you enter for that, and then on custom key, you go to page 4. This is page 2, 3, and 4. You can see the focus hold button is what I have it set on for the button on the lens, but you can set that to any number of things by pressing the center button here, and then you have a choices of what you want to choose. I like to have that do my autofocus, so that's where I have mine set. Let's cover the buttons that are found on the Sony 200-600 lens. First, you have your AF/MF button. Of course, that's your autofocus manual focus. I leave mine in autofocus all the time. However, I do have a custom button set up on my camera to toggle between manual focus and autofocus. That way I never have to touch this button. When I'm shooting and I need to have manual focus, I just toggle that custom button that I have on the camera. Next, we have our focus limiter switch. I leave that on full. Theoretically, you can get faster focusing times if you switch it to one of the other ones, the 10 meters to 2.4 meters for close-ups, or the infinity to 10 meters for things that are far away. But I find that the lens is so fast to focus, no matter what that is set on, that I just leave it on the full and don't touch it. The optical steady shot, or the OSS button, is next. There's a lot of discussion about whether or not that's useful at all when you're doing high shutter speed photography such as birds in flight. I have found that I leave mine in the off position for fast action photography when my shutter speed's above about 1,000th of a second. And of course for birds in flight I'm trying to get a 2,000th of a second, maybe a 4,000th of a second. And so I leave that in the off position for those situations. Now, of course, if you can't get those fast shutter speeds and you're still hand holding the camera and lens, perhaps you're photographing a perched bird in the rainforest, or it's a dark cloudy day or something like that, then you certainly want to turn on your OSS. And once you do that, you have 3 modes to choose from. Mode 1 is just a normal OSS mode. It's for everyday use, and you'll see the effect of that both in the viewfinder and on the resulting picture. Mode 2 is a panning mode. So if something's moving horizontally across your frame that's predictable, such as a bicycle race or a car race or something like that, then you would want to put it in mode 2. Mode 3 is for irregularly moving, unpredictable subjects. I find that that's the most useful one. However, you have to realize when you use mode 3 that you don't actually see the effect of that in the viewfinder as you're holding down the focus button. But you will see it on the resulting picture. So that's about everything for the Sony 200-600 f5.6 to 6.3 lens. It's a great lens for birds in flight, wildlife photography in general. And in later videos I'll cover some of the accessories that I recommend that you get for your lens. And then I'll also talk about some Sony bodies and how to set those up in the menu systems for your wildlife photography. Thanks a lot for watching.